What is up and what the heck is going on? Hey, check this out, man. Diddy lawyer drops out before we start, man. Rest in peace. Biggie, we just got word that Biggie Small's mom died, man. Oh my God, dude. Be strong, people. Be strong, man. It's gonna come for everybody, man. I hate this. Man, she said that she wanted to slap Puffy in his face for what he did to Cassidy. Now, here's the thing. These lawsuits and all this, and he say, she say, 120 people saying that he R-ed them, graped them, or whatever, however you supposed to say it on YouTube. Biggie mom's, I just can imagine while she was still here, the little bit of stuff came past her lips. Only thing I know is if she thought or she heard that Puffy had something to do with the death of her son, right? I think if she heard that and she believed that, at least she got some type of satisfaction that he's in jail and denied bail a couple those many times and everything. So I say that in a way of hoping that brought some type of justice. If Gene and all these people that was saying all this stuff and whatever she believed that's on her heart, I'm hoping she rested in peace, and I'm hoping that her and her son is united and all this positive stuff, man. I'm a little choked up, man. I don't know what to say, man. It's hard to put this stuff into words, but I can't represent you, man. I really think Diddy going down, man. I can't believe this stuff, man. I can't believe. Then you want to play the race card? Y'all hit that subscribe button, hit that bell. Oh my God, man, that brought my spirits down, man. I done had a great vacation. I'm in here trying to get my work done. Without any further ado, man, let's check this bad boy out, man. Here we go.
It looks like Sean Diddy Combs has experienced another setback as one of his attorneys decides to withdraw himself from his case. Not only that, it looks like Diddy is claiming that race is playing into the reason why he is facing charges.
Here we go now.
Bring it up now. Here we
Welcome
go
back
now.
to the Empire Channel, your #1 source for pop culture news and music, entertainment, reality TV, and so much more. As always, be sure to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and hit that notification bell so you never miss out on breaking news when we go live or when we upload. So according to the New York Times, in regards to Diddy's defense, lawyers for Sean Combs filed a motion Tuesday night seeking the dismissal of one of the trafficking charges he's facing, arguing that the hip-hop mogul is being unfairly prosecuted based on his race. Mr. Combs, who had pleaded not guilty to the charges against him and is awaiting trial in a Brooklyn jail, was indicted on federal racketeering and trafficking charges, the most serious, which carries a mandatory minimum sentence of 15 years in prison. His lawyer's filing focuses on a lesser trafficking charge, which stems from a federal law known as the Mann Act. The law makes it illegal to transport a person with intent that such individual engage in prostitution. Mr. Combs' lawyers contend that the law has, quote, racist origins and that it's being deployed against a prominent black man for allegedly using an escort service to transport male escorts across the state lines to have sex with his girlfriends. This is not the first time that his attorneys have decided to use race in his defense. So the New York Times continues. They said the use of escorts, male or female, is common and indeed widely accepted in American culture today, they write. To emphasize what is depicted as the non-criminal nature of the conduct, the filing notes that the chief executive of the escort service that Mr. Combs is said to have used has been interviewed in the media and was featured in a Showtime reality series. The lawyer questioned whether any white person has been charged under the law based on similar allegations. The prosecutors overseeing the case at the U.S. Attorney's Office for the Southern District of New York have asserted that Mr. Combs' conduct was far less innocuous. They have said that Mr. Combs wielded his power and fame to coerce women to engage in extended sex acts with S workers, sometimes known as freak-offs. Prosecutors have said that he directed those encounters, pleasured himself during them, and often electronically recorded them, writing in court papers that he sometimes threatened victims with the recordings of the encounter as collateral. Prosecutors have objected before to the suggestion that the case is racially motivated, after one of Mr. Combs' attorneys, Mark Agnifilo, said in an interview with TMZ that the investigation was, quote, a takedown of a successful black man. One of the prosecutors responded in court saying that Mr. Agnifilo had, quote, baselessly accused the government of engaging in a racist prosecution. The top U.S. attorney who brought the case was Damian Williams, the first black person to lead the office. Mr. Williams resigned shortly before President Trump took office, a standard move ahead of a new administration. In seeking the dismissal of the charge, Mr. Combs' lawyer points to the history of the Mann Act, which was passed in 1910 as an anti-prostitution law. They argued that it has been used to target, quote, black male sexuality, citing as an example to the prosecution of Jack Johnson, the first black heavyweight boxing champion who was convicted under the law for transporting a white woman across state line. He was pardoned by President Trump. The New York Times continues, he says, initially called the White Slave Traffic Act, the law was passed at a time of growing fears around the prevalence of prostitution and anxieties that young girls were being lured into brothels, wrote Jessica R. Pliely, a historian, in a book about the Mann Act, was cited in Mr. Combs' legal brief. The law has been enforced in various ways since it has been passed in 1910. She said in an interview, noting that the white celebrities, including Charlie Chaplin, had also been prosecuted under the law. The one consistency is it has always been about criminalizing commercial sex. Elizabeth Geddes, a former federal prosecutor who was a part of the team that won the first successful criminal case against R. Kelly, said that in a present-day prosecutions, the Mann Act is regularly used in cases in which individuals have been charged with more serious crimes. Mr. Kelly was convicted of racketeering as well as the Mann Act violations. The Mann Act charges against Mr. Kelly were different in substance, involving unlawful sex that involved coercion of a minor. The indictment of Mr. Combs includes a more serious S trafficking charge, one that requires a jury to find that he used, quote, force, fraud, or coercion to cause someone to engage in a commercial S act. That charge centers on the allegations of 𝗗𝗢𝗡 Ventura, who recently announced that she's expecting a third child with Alex Fine, her husband. That charge centers on the allegations of 𝗗𝗢𝗡 Ventura, who accused Mr. Combs in a lawsuit of forcing her to engage in S acts with male workers throughout their years-long relationship. The Mann Act charge is more straightforward, requiring a jury to find that Mr. Combs willfully caused the transportation of individuals with the intent that they engage in prostitution. No doubt it is far easier to prove, Ms. Geddes said. If convicted of only the Mann Act charge, Mr. Combs would face a maximum of 10 years in prison. The indictment alleges that, in addition to Ms. Ventura, Mr. Combs violated the act with respect to 2 other female victims whose identities have been concealed. Mr. Combs' lawyers have disputed that the government's classification of them as victims, asserting that they were his girlfriends. So we get into this particular part of this update when it comes to Diddy because it's important to understand what might be happening with his legal strategy. Because this morning, you probably have woken up to the news that one of his attorneys, Anthony Rico, has decided to drop out. Tonight's the night, guys. If you enjoy hot topics like this, reality TV, and just some tea being spilled, get your tickets for the 𝗗𝗢𝗡 After Dark live experience tonight here in New York City. But there's also a live stream option exclusively for this show. So if you've been wanting to experience the 𝗗𝗢𝗡 After Dark live show, get your tickets today. More information on both the in-person tickets and the live stream will be available in the description. So Diddy's one of his attorneys has decided to drop out. Our friends over the Jasmine brand write this. It said Diddy's legal team is facing a shakeup as his attorney, Tony Rico, files to withdraw from the case. In a motion on Friday in New York, Rico stated that under no circumstances can I continue to serve as counsel for Sean Combs, consistent with the ABA standards for criminal justice. This comes after Diddy's legal team sought to have certain charges dismissed, citing racial discrimination. This is exactly what the motion says, and then we can unpack a little bit about what this could mean for Diddy. According to the motion, it says Anthony L. Rico Esquire, pursuant to Title 28 United States Code, Section 1746, hereby declares under the penalties of perjury, on September 22nd of 2024, I was retained by the defendant, Sean Combs, to serve as his counsel, and I have served as his counsel since that time. As a result of being retained, a notice of appearance was filed in our court on September 29th of 2024. This declaration submitted is in support of the annex notice of motion for withdrawal as counsel, as it is required under SDNY local court rules. For the reasons set forth below, this motion for withdrawal is filed so that Sean Combs may move forward with his defense and to commence jury selection and trial without any delay. Reasons to be relieved as counsel for Sean Combs. As a result of discussions with the lead counsel, Mark Iannafillo, this motion for the withdrawal of counsel is filed. While I'm aware that the local rule requires that an application for withdrawal of counsel is supported and granted only upon a showing of by affidavit or otherwise of satisfactory reasons for withdrawal, there are sufficient reasons related to the protections afforded by the attorney-client privilege for brevity in application for withdrawal as counsel in this case. Although I have provided Sean Combs with the highest level of legal representation expected by the court, under no circumstances can I continue to effectively serve as counsel for Sean Combs, consistent with the ABA standards for criminal justice. So a lot of people, social media attorneys, not literal attorneys, I'm being facetious, believe that, oh, he realizes that he's going to lose this case, or he found out something in this case which has made him decide, I can't effectively represent you because maybe you're not being forthcoming, you're not working with us, you're not agreeing with our plan. So it could be a variety of reasons. So I Google schmoogled a little something in regards to what does this mean? Google tells us when an attorney, quote, withdraws from a case, it means that they are formally ending their legal representation of a client, essentially removing themselves from the case and ceasing to act as their lawyer, usually due to conflict of interest, ethical concerns, or a breakdown in the client-attorney relationship. So it could be a variety of reasons. And I think it's important for us that there's so much Diddy news. There's so many different stories, so many different lawsuits. I've said this before. Anything you say about Diddy now, people are going to believe it, true or untrue. So a lot of people are speculating that Tony Rico decided to drop Diddy because he feels like he's not going to win the case. But it could be a variety of reasons. So they continue. It says, ethical obligations. Lawyers have an ethical duty to withdraw from a case if circumstances arise where they can no longer effectively represent their client, such as conflicts of interest or personal issues impacting their ability to practice law. So it might have nothing to do with Diddy. He could be going through things personally with his family, which he does not have an obligation to tell us or the court. Client consent. In most cases, an attorney must notify the client before withdrawing and may need their consent to formally end the representation. Reasons for withdrawal. Conflict of interest, as we mentioned before, representing another client with opposing interests in the same case. Client non-compliance. Client not following the instructions or failing to provide necessary information. That's very possible too, because when you think about Diddy, he's so used to getting his way with a lot of things. It could be that as well. Fee disputes. Diddy has a lot of money, but he's losing a lot of money in this case as well. And he's been suing, as you know, he sued Peacock, was it last week, for hundreds of millions of dollars. They said fee disputes, unresolved issues regarding legal fees, personal reasons, attorney's health, or personal issues affecting their ability to practice law. So the procedure for a situation like this, which you're seeing right now, filing a formal motion with the court notifying them of the withdrawal, providing the client with written notice regarding the withdrawal and next steps. All of what we saw Tony Rico do within his motion. So what happens when an attorney withdraws? They say clients need to find new counsel. The client must find a new attorney to represent them in this case. Diddy has multiple attorneys representing him in this case. Potential delays. The case may be delayed while the client secures new representation. It doesn't seem to be that way because, again, he has multiple attorneys. Court oversight. The court may need to address the withdrawal and ensure that the client's rights are protected. So I think it's important for us not to jump to conclusions that it has specifically to do with Diddy. It could also be for personal reasons for Tony Rico. Regardless, if you enjoy content like this and you are looking for your Diddy update, be sure to subscribe, be sure to like this video. And as always, don't forget to turn on your notifications so you never miss out on breaking news when we go live or when we upload. Let's continue this conversation in the comment section. And as always, don't forget the Empire After Dark live experience that's happening tonight here in New York City. Get your tickets or live stream tickets in the description. Thanks for watching.
Here we go.
I think that the lawyer withdrew because they filed some new evidence. They filed some new charges, should I say, some new charges. They done seen something on them tapes, and he don't want to be a part of this because we are trying to defend you, and basically you've been lying to us too all this time. I think that's just my thought now. They done presented some new stuff, and this lawyer is like, dude, I'm over here trying to help you and you've been lying to me. So I can't be a part of this. When it's time to walk through them pearly gates, I'm gonna let Lord, once I found out the truth and he was lying to me, I left your honor. Your Jesus my ship. Oh my gracious, Puffy, man. You've been a bad boy, man. So look here. Y'all tell me what y'all think, man, in the comments, man, and let me know. I don't think he got no something personal in his family to make him not want to do his job, which is the biggest. This is like a chance of a lifetime for a lawyer. Think about it, man. This is like the Super Bowl or something. So he ain't got no. Oh my God, let me get on up out of here before Uncle Mike say something he gonna regret. Look here, y'all take it light, take it slow. Y'all tell him Uncle Mike told you so. Let me know in the comments what y'all think. Peace out.